Gentlemen, this is Rob bringing from the International Sports Press, ISP, and today's topic for the week is actually going to be professional wrestling. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of saying, well, there's been so much going on in the sports world, you guys have been quiet. Yeah, but it kind of speaks for itself, and there's not much for us to talk about besides just the fact that it really does speak for itself. And I figured, let's talk about something that I feel like is hidden to the typical sports fan, and that's professional wrestling. And, as a kid, at least for me, I'm really excited that ISP kind of chose this topic for me to talk about today. I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, I got goosebumps right now because of all the amazing moments that I've had watching professional wrestling as a kid and watching professional wrestling now as an adult. It is honestly amazing. Nowadays we have the AEW, the NWAs coming back to life from the 80s. You've got WWE, of course, the front runner in professional wrestling since probably the 1970s, about give or take. And let's not forget New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, ICW, Progress. There's just so many different professional wrestling companies out there and professional wrestlers. And everyone, I think the basic question that I think everyone forgets is why? Why professional wrestling? What is the purpose of professional wrestling? Now, a lot of people say, it's fake, so why would I watch this? Well, there's storylines. There's these bigger than life attitudes that come onto the screen and somehow try to relate to someone in the audience. If not, get a reaction out of you that goes yay or nay, or you suck or you're amazing. Right? That is the goal. And of course, the goal for any professional wrestler is to become the world champion. There's nothing bigger than a real world championship. Sweet Charlotte, to quote Nick Aldis from the NWA, the NWA's World Heavyweight Champion. Now, again, going back to pro wrestling, one of the most amazing things, in my opinion, professional wrestling is a sport. But these guys are on the road constantly, especially if you're in the WWE, just to be specific. You're on the road and performing for 300 plus days, and this is a pretty short span of time you have left on yourself for the rest of the calendar of the year. These guys are people who really put in the time in the weight room, take big bumps. And a lot of people forget that, as much as professional wrestling, the punches and the elbows are fake, you can't fake gravity, in my opinion. I definitely would not want, if I'm right now, I weigh like 140. So if I'm 140 and I got some guy like Brock Lesnar who decides to go for like a off the top rope, like jump or elbow drop, I definitely don't want 200 plus pounds from a former UFC heavyweight champion, nonetheless, and a former WWE champion as well, crushing down. Because I'm pretty sure by the time before he even hits, I'm going to feel the wind coming, the wind alone from his impact. Before it even hits, he's probably going to break a rib or two. Then all jokes aside, professional wrestling is one of the more interesting topics. I do feel like it should be talked about. It is a sport, and I definitely want to give more attention to pro wrestling on, hopefully, with this company. And if I get the thumbs up for it, and I know I'm probably saying "and" a lot, but right now I'm recording this in my mini studio, and I'm really looking forward to what's going to be in store for us for pro wrestling. I really would like to not even necessarily cover, how we're going to be covering the NBA, the NFL, MLB, so on and so on, FIFA, and UFC. I want to bring into this company as well to talk about. And specifically, things that are going on with the next pay-per-view. We have John Jones defending his title. Valentina Shevchenko is also going to be defending her title. But professional wrestling, folks, and this is my basic answer for pro wrestling. This will probably be a very short video. But pro wrestling, the heart and the core of pro wrestling is connecting to an audience. It's being bigger than life. It's putting on these performances of a lifetime in the biggest buildings in the world, Madison Square Garden, who has been held to multiple wrestling events since the days of Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, Randy Macho Man Savage, Roddy Piper. The list goes on. Ric Flair. I mean, you name it. I mean, heck, if we're even going off on a tangent here, Conor McGregor's fought there. I mean, so many illustrious. You got the Knicks. And these wrestlers are also selling out at Madison Square Garden for all these people. And let's not forget, this is a big thing for kids too. Back in my day, it was kind of it was cool to be a wrestling fan. I went to school, and when I went to school, I always have this one kid, I can't remember his name, but he was a big fan of The Undertaker. Would even do the eye-rolling thing. It was crazy. It was really unbelievable, and it was that connection that this technically make-believe dead man who could resurrect himself and go up from the caskets and turn the lights dark blue or whatever you want to, whatever, however he did it, or Kane who had the fireball. It's all these crazy things that make, that connect with this crowd. And it's such an amazing feel to watch these professional wrestlers, these athletes, if you will, give it everything they've got and try to put on the best performance that they can for entertainment purposes, to entertain and also show their skill level, their craftsmanship. Professional wrestling is a craft. It's like a blacksmith. If I'm going to go to a blacksmith, I want the most experienced blacksmith I can find, not the one who just got their license from an online website and it's just starting out. That's no good to me. That is a complete no bueno. So that's how I look at it. You want, it's the experience, the atmosphere. You know, I used to go to these Impact tapings, TNA Impact to be exact, when Jeff Jarrett and Dix Carter were running it, and it was amazing. I mean, I got to saw guys like Ethan Carter III, Rockstar Spud, now Drake Maverick, Drew Galloway, aka Drew McIntyre, the guy who just won the 2020 Royal Rumble, who challenged Brock Lesnar, I think, on Raw this past week to fight for the WWE or Universal, whatever title it is. You guys get the point. But I got to see all these guys, and these guys were phenomenal like 4 or 5 years ago, and they're still phenomenal, if not getting better now. Crazy. I got to watch Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist who won it with a broken neck, by the way, an Olympic gold medalist, you know, defend a world heavyweight title. Russell, EC3, Eric Young, all these guys you see in WWE now. It's insane. And even the NWA, which, by the way, as you can watch on YouTube, not giving any shots, not my plan, not my goal here, but NWA, amazing. You got James Storm and Eli Drake, right now just NWA Tag Team Champions. Had the Rock and Roll Express recently come back. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's really awesome to think about all the nostalgia that we're seeing here in 2020. And this is gonna be, I think this is gonna be the biggest year for pro wrestling. There's so much opportunity out there. I can't wait for it. You got the Kenny Omegas, the Seth Rollinses, the Eli Drakes, and the Nick Aldises are just on another level. The Minoru Suzuki's. You got all these guys, Stevie Boy, Jimmy Havoc, all these amazing professional wrestlers from all around the world that are going to be here. And I think 2020 is really going to put wrestling back on the map, hopefully, and make it cool again, if you will. But folks, that's kind of what I really want to talk about. It's kind of like I was really excited for this, and I hope to maybe be able to bring a side series to this channel and with this company, and maybe review a wrestling show or two to fill in gaps when we don't really have a show going on. I'd love to be able to do that, and I'd also love your feedback. So definitely follow us on Twitter at InSportsPress, and also same thing for Instagram at InSportsPress as well. We do follow back, by the way. And, of course, our YouTube channel, which this is going to be on, at